Okay, so welcome people to Wine ASMR. I'm Jay, I'm your host, and as you probably have already noticed, today's video is slightly different than our typical whispering. So I'm trying to do a softly spoken video. It's the first softly spoken video for the channel. You have requested for it, and I try and listen to my audience and my subscribers as much as possible, so I'm trying it out. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it's working or not. And without further ado, let's see today's wine bottle. So with me, I have, again, something different than our typical wine. We have an organic wine with us today. Now be careful, please. You might have heard before about an organic wine or a biodynamic wine, or even a natural wine. Now these three descriptions I just mentioned, they're not the same. So do not be confused. Do not confuse biodynamic with natural and organic. They have some similarities, but still they're not the same, and I will explain. First of all, let's start with our organic wine, which is today's wine. So an organic wine means that the winemaking process while growing the grape has been carried out without adding pesticides and without any fertilizers. However, once the grape has been collected, you can do pretty much what you've been doing with your typical wine making. So you can add chemicals, yeast, you can adjust the acidity, and keep in mind there are over 44 chemicals that can be added to wine. And do not be alarmed, it's nothing to be concerned of. Each wine contains chemicals. This is to improve the quality and to just improve the wine overall. Now we're not talking about toxic chemicals, so do not worry. Now once the grape has been collected, we can follow our typical procedure, creating our usual wine. So organic means that it's been organically created up to the point of harvesting the grape. In contrast with organic wine, we have natural wine. So again, totally natural procedure. We've been growing the grape without pesticides and without fertilizers, and at the point of collecting the grape, proceeding to crushing, to separating, and to fermentation, we still follow a very natural procedure. So a natural grape is what the word provides, so it's completely natural. A natural wine process making. However, the quality of the final wine you will receive will not be on the high end. So natural wines typically tend to be a little bit more orangey and just resemble like fruit juice. However, they are considered to be excellent choices for a healthy option, and also if probably you are sulfite sensitive or your body cannot handle sulfites, then this is the way you want to go. Keep in mind though that natural wines cannot be aged and must be consumed pretty much straight away. Finally, we have the biodynamic procedure. Now here it's pretty much the biodynamic is referring to the procedure itself. And I do not want to get into detail with this. Don't want to confuse you yet, but just keep in mind the description, biodynamic, and know it's something different than natural and organic. So having said this, we can proceed with opening today's wine bottle and pouring ourselves a nice glass of wine. Let's see. Okay. So this is once again an organic wine, and it might be a bit confusing because on the foil is written the word bio, which you might think is biodynamic, but no, it's simply organic. I don't remember the last time I've tried out. Let's just move this aside. I don't remember the last time I tried out an organic wine or even a natural wine. So I'm pretty excited to see what this wine bottle has to offer. I'm a bit biased, to be honest, because I don't believe that natural or organic wines are good quality. Don't get me wrong, they're a much better option if you're looking for something healthy. Okay, let's see. Now, so this is a Greek wine. That's enough. And the wine variety is Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, a blend. So let's see. It smells pretty nice straight away, to be honest. Okay, I didn't expect this, so it is pretty impressive. It has a full nose to it. The nose is actually lovely. Red fruit, a little bit of flowers. Very, very pleasant nose. The color is also very vibrant, very lively. Seems quite light, possibly medium body. Let's give it a sip. So, to be honest, this pretty much took me by surprise. I didn't expect this because it's very pleasurable, for one, and well, I can easily detect the blended variety, so I can tell just by tasting it that it has some Cabernet in it and some Merlot. It could possibly even have a third variety, but the Cabernet and Merlot can be easily detected from my side. It's pretty powerful, pretty robust, pretty tannic for an organic wine. However, it has like these lovely notes of a combination of red berries and red fruit. And also in the back, let's see once again. So in the back we have these lovely sweet spices and herbs. Okay, sweet spices and sweet herbs, and it just blends very well with the fruit. To be honest, I'm not getting anything else apart from spices and fruit, but nevertheless it's a very enjoyable wine, pleasant surprise for today, and I would even recommend it to you. This is a great alternative if you're looking for something a little bit more healthier than your typical wine, your usual wine. Not to be said that wine is not good for you, or, well, if you consume it in large amounts, then yes, it's not the best option. But you know, like a glass or two, or once in a while, is more than fine. It's also quite beneficial for you. Now, the reason that we have organic wine, natural wine, as opposed to your typical wine, is due to the fact that normal wine contains amounts of sulfites in it, so which is supposedly not good for you. But be aware that sulfites are to be found in every wine, even natural wine. Now you might ask, why would one choose an organic wine or a natural wine? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and the reason is to find a reduction in the amount of sulfates that are contained in the wine. But please pay attention. There is no, and this is a typical misconception, but there is no wine that has 0 amounts of sulfates. So at the least you would have natural sulfates, but you know, the less the better for your health. Not to be said that in any means wine is harmful for your health. I mean, if you drink it in moderation and if you do not overdo it, which is pretty much standard for anything you consume. But if you drink in moderation and 1 or 2 glasses or once in a while, you're more than fine. It's actually beneficial for you. But if you're possibly sensitive to sulfites, then you would definitely go with an organic or a natural wine. We haven't done a natural wine yet, but I'm thinking of doing one. I believe it's going to be very different than today's experience. But regardless, this wine is a pleasant surprise. I would definitely pick it up again. It's called Circle. It's a Greek wine, and as every red wine, this needs to be accommodated by red meat, game, or heavy pasta. And I know we've been over this, but typically Cabernet Sauvignon requires these foods to accommodate it. So I believe we've concluded today's video, rating this wine with 87 points, which is pretty good for an organic wine. I did not expect this once again, and please let me know if the softly spoken video is working, or should we go back possibly to whispering. Your comments, your feedback is always valuable, and thank you for contributing. So I guess I'll see you guys soon. Be safe. Cheers.